Hey guys, Zambina here and welcome back to another speed build video, and I'm so glad that you're here for this spring inspired white cottage over a waterfall. Now before I get into talking about the build, let's address the fact that it was 2 weeks since my last video, not 1 week. Now there's a reason for this. I have decided to change my upload schedule to just once every 2 weeks. The reason for this is mainly time. Now you might think that one build a week, that's really not a lot. It shouldn't take a lot of time, and you could probably be right. The thing is, I still have a full-time job that I would like to keep and that I really love. I am playing other games, mainly World of Warcraft stuff at the moment. I'm also quite a slow builder in general. There's a lot of off-screen fiddling and figuring out that goes on, which takes a lot of time, and you don't see any of that in the video obviously because it's all off camera. So it does take me quite a while to build something like this, and because I also have other things to do, you know, I have to be an adult, I do chores, I need to, you know, be a productive member of society somewhat, I need to do my job, I need to take care of my mental health, all that stuff. From now on it's going to be one build every 2 weeks. Still same time on Sundays, but it's just going to be less of them for now. Possibly in the future I can up it again and start uploading more frequently, but it's just the fact that I don't want to feel like I'm forcing myself to do this when I feel like I don't have the time. I do this because it's fun, because I enjoy it, because I like putting a build together, I like editing the videos and like choosing the music and just seeing it all come together into something that I am proud to put out. If I stress myself with the video, if I build when I don't really want to, then the end result ends up being not as great as it can be. I end up making stuff that I'm not super happy with. Not stuff that I hate, because that I wouldn't put out, but stuff that I feel like this could have been better, you know? Sometimes it can feel like that, and I don't want that at all. And again, this is just something I do on the side for fun. So, yeah. Every 2 weeks on Sundays is going to be the new upload schedule for now. If that changes in the future, I will of course say so in a video, but for now, that's how it's going to be. But I have rambled through most of the construction of the waterfall. This house is on the Rock Ridge Canyon lot in Glimmerbrook because it was the best lot I could find that kind of gave me that rocky, hilly, mountain-ish area aesthetic. I mean, not necessarily mountain, but like hilly and with some rocks and stuff. Like, definitely not flat land. Because building up a waterfall like this on this kind of hill with rocks and stuff on a lot that was just surrounded by flat land, that would just look silly, in my humble opinion. So I didn't want to do that. But going back to what I said before about figuring stuff out off camera, there was a lot of me figuring out the landscaping of this hill and waterfall off camera because it was a bit fiddly to do. It turned out okay. I'm not super confident with landscaping. I'm not someone like Kate Emerald who can just do it without even breaking a sweat, it seems. Just seems to come very naturally. But I assume that comes with, you know, practice and some modicum of skill, which I do not have. Yet. So it took me a while to figure out how to do this hill and try to make it look sort of natural-ish okay. There's a lot of landscaping going on with like the plants and rocks and stuff. I did cut out a fair amount of me placing the rocks and the plants all around the lot because, you know, it's just the same all around. It's kind of boring to watch. It's not something that I felt was necessary. And now I'm starting to flatten out where the house is going to be and the path up to it. I do straighten out that path in the end so that it goes like straight down rather than at a curve. I'm not sure why I did a curve to start with, to be honest, but that's what I did. And I will say the house ended up being a lot bigger than I had envisioned. I think I was thinking kind of a tiny cottage that just kind of housed a couple of Sims, like 2, maybe 3, but this ended up being the full family cottage. It fits a family of 4. And I think I just had underestimated how big the waterfall is. The waterfall, by the way, is a debug object from Discovery University. So we have a couple of different waterfall debug objects. We have the one from Island Living, and then we have, I think, 2 that are from Discovery University. And one is like ridiculously long and huge and, you know, weird shaped. But this one was the one I had envisioned to use, and I think it fit really, really well. But yeah, I think in my mind, when I was thinking about this build and thinking about what it was going to look like and how I was going to build it, I thought that the waterfall was smaller or just something like that. It was definitely smaller in my head, this build, than what it turned out to be. But I mean, that's okay. It just means that the video is a bit longer and it took me a bit longer to build. I also used the medium wall height mainly because I wanted there to be a decent amount of height between the bottom of the second floor and the waterfall. Like, I didn't want that and like the balcony to be too close to the rocks and the water and things like that, because I felt like that wouldn't be super realistic and it would look a little weird. I know I could have just put the house higher up, like that flattened area where the entrances and stuff. I could have put that higher, but because I didn't have a lot of space at the front, like the area there is, you know, it's not huge, and I wanted to be able to have a decently natural looking slope that wasn't too steep going up. I considered putting stairs all the way down instead, but that didn't really fit with what I was going for. I didn't like how that looked, so I didn't go with that. So I didn't want to make that area too high up, because then I felt like it would be a struggle to get a natural slope that the Sims could walk up without needing to use stairs. But my original vision for this was a white cottage that was kind of bright and airy and spring looking, kind of spring themed, and I'd like to think I succeeded. I wanted it to be white with quite a lot of white and pink flowers, which I did. I think I put less pink than I had imagined. Like, it was easy to imagine like a cottage that was just basically overflowing with flowers and just really, really flowery and really, really pretty. And then sometimes when you try to do that in game, you find out that it doesn't actually look that good, or at least you're unable to make it look good. Maybe that's a skill that I'm lacking, I'm not sure. But it definitely ended up with less flowers than I had initially imagined, but it still has quite a lot of flowers, so I'm quite happy with that. Maybe in the future I can make something even more flowery. And I used a lot of cats and dogs. Cats and dogs was my go-to pack for this, because I feel like it has the right kind of rustic feel. I feel like there's a few packs in the game that give you that kind of rustic feel. You have Seasons, which is a more of a craftsman, DIY kind of rustic. And you have Outdoor Retreat, which is like, I don't even know if that's rustic, or if it's just like, I don't even know what I would call that if not rustic. But yeah, it's more like an outdoorsy kind of low-tech rustic. And then you have Cats and Dogs, which is just kind of cutesy, cottagey, cottagecore, I believe the term is, vibes. So that fit really well. That was what I used for the fences, the windows, the doors. And here is me struggling with the floor plan on the upper floor. And I kept it in because, why not? Listen, we all struggle with floor plans sometimes. And this was just, I was trying to figure out where to put the bathroom, because the top floor is just the parents' bedroom and the bathroom. And I needed the bathroom to be decent size while still fit in the bedroom. And there, I got it in the end. You get there in the end. You just have to persevere and you get it in the end. And the front, I decided to make a little bit of a garden at the front. That's why I will end up moving the path so that it's like straight down rather than angled like that. I do that. I don't do that just now, I think. I do it later. I was also a bit annoyed that I couldn't put railings on the stairs. Because of the way the stairs are placed, if I put railings on them, they would be a fence right in the middle of them, so that it would be like right up against the door. And that wouldn't work. So I didn't put railings on the outside stairs, which I was a bit disappointed about, because I wanted to, because I felt like, you know, they go up there and they're over a hill and it's like, that feels a bit weird to not have railings on them, but you know, I got over it. And you can see I'm using the Cats and Dogs doors, the Cats and Dogs windows. I just kind of went with that because I like having the kind of uniform windows. I do use the Laundry Day bay windows, which I hadn't used before. And to be honest, I didn't know they existed. I am a horrible builder. I didn't know they existed. I assume because I don't really use the medium wall height that much, and they are medium wall height windows. And I had no idea that they were there, but I thought they were perfect. They look really, really good, and I use a lot of hanging plants as decorations for them. You'll see that later when I get to that point. But yeah, this is a house for a family. 2 parents, 2 kids. There will be 1 room for a teenager and 1 room for a child. That seems to just be what I go for, 1 teenager, 1 or 2 kids or children. Maybe I should actually challenge myself to make a taller room one of these days, or a nursery even. Oh my god, what a concept. I'm not very good at making those kinds of rooms, but maybe at some point soon I should try and do that. I also did consider giving this family a pet, but in the end I didn't. I have slight regrets about that, or slight second thoughts, I should say. Regrets sounds just way too serious, because I feel like there's a lot of empty space, especially on the 2nd floor, like with the living room and all that, but we'll get to that when we get to it. And you can see I'm straightening out the path at the front, just making it a straight path down, and then I will be making a little bit of a garden area there on the right. I struggle a little bit with the path, just trying to make sure that the Sims can actually walk up there. I feel like I was really scared that I would make a path that they couldn't actually walk up. But I know that, or I'm pretty sure that the rule is as long as you can put terrain paint on it, they can walk up it. So if it ends up being like, you know, where the ground goes like a more orangey brown thing, when you lift it up too much, that's what they can't walk on. But as long as you can terrain paint it, you're all good, or you should be all good. And just putting some flower boxes down. I use these big ones, and I believe they are from Get Together and also from Get Famous. I believe those are the 2 variations of flower box that I used. And as you can see, I'm adding some climbing flowers as well on the walls. Almost overdid it there. It's quite easy to do because I really, really like those climbing flowers. And then these climbing flowers again that I love, and they are not from Island Living, they are from Jungle Adventure. I swear I thought they were from Island Living. They really fit the aesthetic of Island Living, but apparently I was wrong. I apologize. And as you can see, I've also put those little hanging flower baskets all around the house. I love them. I think they're perfect. I think they're so cute. I think they really fit with the aesthetic I was going for. And now you can see I'm starting to work on the little front garden on the side here. It's not very big, because there's not a lot of space that is like an actual surface where you can do stuff and build. So I put the bins down here. I put a swing set, some benches. I think I put a bird bath and also a birdhouse at some point. Like, it's just this little area here. Like, they've got ample space to hang out outside. They've got 3 balconies. The teenager even have their own balcony. The parents have their own balcony. And then they have like a family balcony. But yeah, they have ample space to hang out outside, so I didn't feel like they needed a huge garden. But I wanted to have something down here at the front, like a swing set for the kids. Obviously, you know, the teenager might not be that interested anymore, but, you know, they could have been a kid not very long ago, so not a huge stretch that they would have that. I really like those bins, by the way. Is it weird to find bins cute? Like, I think they're really, really cute. Oh yeah, put a well down there as well. Haha, a well down there as well. And I put some flowers under the stairs. I had to remove the back row of those plants because it was stopping my sim from getting up the stairs. But other than that, they're kept in. And I add some pinkish flowery things here. Pinkish purplish flowery things just to break up the green a little bit and give it a bit more dimension, a bit more color. Add into the whole pink theme I had going on. And I will start working on the interior finally. I'm starting to work on the kitchen. I used the country kitchen kit and I went ham with it. This is the first time I have used this in a build. I love it. It is great. It is so beautiful. It fits this perfectly and I absolutely love it. This is quite a big kitchen for a family of only 4. I did realize, but it was just the way the space worked out. I do feel like this house is a little bit too big for what it is. Like I mentioned before, there's a little bit too much empty space sometimes. But I don't know if that's just what it feels like in Sims. Because I feel like if this was a real house, you wouldn't think of the empty space as weird. But it's just, you know, the way it looks in The Sims versus the way it would look in real life. There's always going to be a discrepancy. It's always going to look a little bit different. One thing I will say about the kitchen, I clutter it too much. Now that's weird for me to say, but I went a little bit ham with the country kitchen kit and I just went absolutely insane with the clutter items because I hadn't used it before and it ends up being a little bit too much. I fixed that off camera. Most of the clutter will still be there, it's just I clear up a few counters. There were still counters, like I still had the whole island free for them to actually prepare food on. it just looked really weird when the island was the only thing free and every single other counter was just filled up with clutter. That looked a bit weird. I didn't like that. And so I do clear it up a little bit off camera. I just kind of put some stuff together, remove some stuff, just kind of center it up a bit and make it look a little bit more realistic, I think. I don't know if I managed. The thing is, kitchen clutter is something that I love, but it's something that I don't always get right. I feel like I can struggle with it sometimes just because I love it so much and I always want to put so much clutter down, because I feel like a kitchen is a place that does have a lot of stuff in it. It can get pretty cluttered, like it can be the center of the home. People put all kinds of things there, you know, you have all these things for cooking and baking and whatever else you do in there. So it's easy to clutter it up too much. And I'm not very good at restraining myself when it comes to clutter. I am very, very bad at restraining myself when it comes to clutter. And these curtains from Vintage Glamour, I don't think I've used them before. At least I've not used them much. But I was struggling with a good pair of curtains for these windows. I don't know, it was just, I wasn't liking any of the others I was trying out. And these really work. I feel like they kind of fit with the cottage aesthetic. You know, they're nice and crisp and white. They work. I wish they had some more neutral swatches than just white. I wish they could have had like a light green or a light blue. Like the blue that exists is just kind of neon-y and not what I was going for. So I wish I had some better swatches that weren't just like grey or white or like black, gold or neon blue. But I think I made it work. And it's a dining table by the big bay window. I think it's really, really pretty. That rug from Laundry Day, I use it a lot in this build. It fits perfectly with the aesthetic. I love it. It's great. I use it several times in all its swatches, I think. And now I believe I start working on the hallway entrance bit. It's pretty standard, just, you know, clothes hangers, umbrella stand, that thing that you sit on to put your shoes on that I never know what it's called. I'm sure it has a name, I just don't know it. And again, maybe I put too much stuff here for a family of 4, but I like it. I kind of like how it came out. It's like a cute little corner. And I definitely had some art struggles in this build, but let's be real, I have art struggles in every build because I don't feel like we have enough, and I bring that up in every single video and I should probably stop. But yes, art struggles. And then that piece from Paranormal Stuff swoops in and saves the day like the amazing piece of art that it is. And I just put some stuff under the stairs. I do change about a little bit what I've got under the stairs off camera as well when I do the slight decluttering of the kitchen. I think I moved some stuff around. I don't exactly remember what I move around or what I add or take away, but it's going to be a little bit different under the stairs in the screenshots versus what you see in the video, but I'm sure that that's not a huge deal. And I struggled a little bit what to do with that area by the half wall. In the end, I ended up putting a chest table. I played around a little bit with putting like a couch or something there, but in the end, a chest table felt like it fit the best. And now I'm finally onto the upstairs and I'm working on the teenager's bedroom. I tried to make both bedrooms fairly like unisex. I know in my last like family home I made the teenager's bedroom very stereotypically pink and girly, and the kids' bedroom stereotypically blue and boyish. In these ones I tried to make them fairly neutral so you could, you know, have whatever family configuration you would like. You don't even necessarily have to have a teenager in this room. It could be, you know, another adult or 2 other adults. Although you might struggle with dining space for that. But you know what I mean? Like, it's not set in stone that it has to be a teenager. But I do imagine that both the kids are pretty crafty. Like they're into art and craft. The teenager is into knitting and crocheting. And the kid is into drawing and painting. And the teenager also has their own balcony, which is a ridiculous luxury. I wish I had my own balcony. I wish I had a balcony. That would be great. But yeah, they basically have their own balcony outside that I'll work on as well. I also pictured them would be pretty studious. So they've got like their school books and studying over there and like the corkboard and all that. And they're pretty good at school. They want to go to university and all that. They want to be successful in that regard. And I'm starting to work on the kids' room. It's pretty standard. kids' room, nothing really extraordinary about it. Give them an activity table, I give them an easel because they like drawing and painting and things like that, and obviously a toy box as well. I cut out both bathrooms, or not even cut out, I just did them off camera. The parents' bathroom is done on camera, but I didn't feel the need to have the kids' bathrooms on camera as well, because they're both very similar and very similar to the parents' bathroom as well. It's all kind of the same aesthetic, same type of things, same look. So I didn't feel like that was necessary to keep in the video. But I really like how both the kids' rooms came out, to be honest, especially the teenagers' room. I really like how it looks. And here I am just working on the teenagers' private balcony. They've got some lounge chairs, some flowers. I think they've got a gardening pot there as well, a bird bath, just a couple of decorative things on the balcony and on the wall. Got a little bench there. I don't think the teenagers are necessarily into gardening that much, but I think the parents are very into gardening, and I think that they're kind of lovingly pushing the teenager to try it out just because it's something that they love. I love that wind chime, by the way. It's so pretty, so beautiful. I love it. I did struggle a little bit where to put the TV. It ended up being there. I tried to move it around a bit. Like, I have ended up making this a kind of awkward shape and size. And I didn't want to cover up the windows, like with the big TV or anything like that. So I ended up just putting a more formal-ish seating area over here that's not just like by the TV. And then the TV area just has its own little set of couches and chairs and coffee table. I believe the green couches are actually base game, and this blue couch that I'm using here for the TV area is from Cats and Dogs. I also put the high back armchairs from Cats and Dogs next to that couch, and I was so goddamn peeved that the checkered pattern doesn't match. I do not understand why it doesn't match. Like, it would have been so perfect. In the end, I have to actually change the color of the couch when I put those armchairs beside it, because it was just too much going on with the two different checker patterns. So I changed the color of the couch to like a light blue. I don't remember if I do that off camera or on camera. I think it's on camera, because it was just too much going on. Like, you see there, like, if they had matched, it would have been perfect, but they don't. And I'm so pissed that they don't. I think there might be another swatch of the couch. It's like a darker blue that matches like the head cushion on the armchair. I might be making that up. That might be a thing. But then again, that dark blue would have been too dark for what I was going for anyway. So that didn't really solve my problem. And here I'm just using more of the hanging plants in the bay windows. I think it's perfect. I love these windows. I love these plants. I'm just putting some random plants here because I don't think you can do much else in those windows. I could have maybe like made a fake ottoman or something like that with tulle or other things to like make it look like you could sit there, even though, you know, in game you couldn't, but you could make it look like it. It's all about the aesthetic, right? And I'm putting down some art and some bookcases. I was struggling again with the art and also where to put the bookcases. I end up moving that to the other wall and put two beside each other, and I put another rocking chair in that corner where the bookcase was, because I thought it fit better. I thought the bookcase looked a little bit too crammed into a corner over there, and it wasn't really fitting with what I wanted, and I felt like this is probably a family that likes books. At least I imagine that the parents and the teenager definitely enjoy reading when they're not crafting or gardening or doing any of those other things. And I'm going to start working on the family balcony, where there is a barbecue, a place to eat, and just some general clutter and aesthetic stuff. There's some gardening stuff, there'll be some plant pots, things like that. I think I have a flower arranging table, but that will be up on the parents' private balcony, because that's just more what they're into. This is more them spreading out their gardening just across the whole house, because, you know, it's their house, they can do that. But I tried to keep it fairly simple. I was very tempted to like overly clutter, or like not even clutter, just put a lot of stuff on the balconies, but I tried to keep it kind of chill with it because I felt like that was more realistic. And now I'm finally starting to work on the top floor, just trying to make the landing look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing and not just like a little box, because that's what it is. I'm working on the parents' bathroom. You can see I'm just kind of going and eyedropping all the stuff from the kids' bathrooms, so it's all really the same. Give them a dual sink, because I thought that kind of fit. It's just more to fill up the space. I liked how it looked in general. And they have a bath shower combo, and they have the fake laundry basket, which I believe I have in at least one of the kids' rooms as well, some sort of fake laundry basket. I didn't put laundry in this build. I didn't want to. I didn't feel like there was space. So I just give them the laundry basket that doesn't have any sort of function. It's just there for the aesthetic, basically. And I kind of use it as a little shelf to put some stuff on, because I feel like if you have a laundry basket that's flat like that on the top with the lid, you're probably going to put stuff on it. In a bathroom, yeah, you're definitely going to put stuff on it. And then it might be annoying when you actually need to open it. But, you know, such is life. Not everything is convenient. Give them a little plant there as well. The bathrooms aren't really overly fancy, overly complicated. And yes, they are blue. You all know the drill at this point, I would like to think. And I'm just giving them a little bit of art as well on the walls to kind of make them a little less dull and boring, because that can happen quite easily when you have the medium wall height. And then I'm going to start working on the actual bedroom. They have the same bed as the teenager, just a different swatch. There's not really that much going on in their bedroom. I feel like I thought it was bigger than it actually is. Maybe it's just the awkward shape as well, because it is a little bit of an awkward shape. But I do love that they have that big, like, bright window door right out to the balcony. I really, really like that. I think it's a really good look. But yeah, they just have the bed, they have a closet, or, you know, closet, wardrobe. It's a chest of drawers, but, you know, it fills that function. And they have an easel as well, I think. And they have like a chair, some flowers, just things like that. It's very standard. It's not really anything weird or complicated going on in there. And that console table, I used that console table like 4 times throughout the build. I don't even remember what pack it's from, but it's great. And I love it, and it fit really well. And that mirror, I use it quite a few times as well. It fits the aesthetic, alright? It's like a little princessy. And I like it. And just some plants, a painting over the bed, some more art on the walls to kind of just make it look a little bit more interesting. And then I will be putting the easel down in just a second or so. And then I'm going to start working on their balcony, the parents' private balcony. And it's not that complicated either. They've got some loungers, some chairs to sit at. They've got the flower arranging table, as I mentioned before, some more flower pots, just things like that. Some gardening clutter. I also do put outdoor lighting everywhere around the house, but I do that off camera because it is boring to watch. But we're going to be coming up on the screenshots very, very soon. This build is fully playtested. It's available on the gallery, and all the details are in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any thoughts on this build, I would love to hear them in the comments below. And I hope to see you in the next video in 2 weeks. Bye!
Babe, when I saw you for the first